We see tons of the world's most dangerous gangsters and terrorists. Then the narrator says that despite the fact that the world is filled with various types of criminals and crime organizations, there is only one person at the top of the table, and his name is Pietro. However, this Pietro is a 60-year-old man. Then we see the narration continue from a criminal who is down on his back, who says that despite being such a legend and being at the top of the world, Pietro has thousands of people looking for a chance to take his head. He then calls the person in front of him, who is donning a childish mask, Pietro. The person then says that if he wants to know the answer, then he needs to know that even if there are tens and thousands of eyes on Pietro, they'll never find the real Pietro. As he unmasks, the person he is about to shoot is shocked seeing his real face. We then see a flashback that sees the clock turn back 3 months, where we see the old man, supposedly Pietro, being scolded on phone for not picking up calls and being ignorant about everything. They say that he won't even live 3 months if he continues to live the way that he is living at the moment. We then see Pietro taking a lot of medicines and saying that he has never feared about his life ending. But there are tons of things he hasn't done yet and has a lot of regrets as a person. We then see him holding a book about portrait photography and saying that he has never taken a single photo of himself in this long life of his. Just then, we see an attractive young lady walk into the store. She asks Pietro if there are any middle school textbooks available. Pietro says that they have all the books except for the ones they don't. He also says that he has all the middle school books from the 1960s to 2020, including ones from other countries' education boards. The girl asks to have the latest one for her younger sister. Pietro asks her if the girl is from the nearby high school, and she says yes. He also adds that she must be in the last year of high school because of the tag she has on her uniform. The girl is surprised by just how much Pietro knows, and Pietro says that he knows everything about this neighborhood, from the inside and out. Pietro then brings her the entire set of books from the latest year. The girl is shocked by it and says that she doesn't have enough money to buy all of it and that all those books are brand new and still packed perfectly, so she can't afford them. Pietro says it's fine and that she can have it because he has no need of these books anymore, and as for the books being new, he tears the packaging and says that they're used now. He then says to the girl that she probably loves her sister a lot, so she should give this to her and cherish and moments with her till she can, and tells her to have no regrets. The girl is overwhelmed and doesn't know what to call Pietro. She is contemplating between grandpa and old man, but Pietro tells her to call him as the boss. She then asks Pietro if he has any regrets. Pietro then says that he has a lot of regrets, just like a lot of people. However, there is no point in pondering about what has already happened, as it can't be changed in any way, as he thinks of being separated from his daughter. Just at that moment, we see the high school girl getting up on the table behind Pietro with a knife and ready to stab. Pietro then warns her, saying that she should leave now and don't try to attack him. If she does so, then he won't take her life. The girl is shocked by how Pietro realized that she was going to attack him with a knife. He tells the girl that he knows every single student from that school, so when he failed to recognize her, he knew something fishy was up. And she messed up the moment she said she was a third-year student at the school because the school was only built 2 years ago. He also says that he worked in the industry for 50 years and that he can smell blood with ease, so even though she tried to hide the smell of her dagger with perfume, he still smelt it. She realizes that she has no other choice and goes in to attack Pietro. However, she realizes that this man's aura is too strong and that she feels like there is no way she is going to get out of this unscathed. Pietro stops her and says that she wasn't lying about the books for her younger sister. He can also tell when people are lying or not, and that her eyes weren't lying when she was talking about her sister. He also guesses that she was brought up in the same orphanage as he was, and that they're still going about the same time way as they were back when he was there. He then grabs the girl by the neck and pushes her away as 2 more assassins join the attack. They start firing relentlessly at Pietro and the girl. Pietro, after saving her, tells her that the organization has strict rules about finishing off their own people if they fail to conduct a mission properly. The girl realizes that Pietro has been shot in the torso. Pietro, however, starts shooting with a gun at them, but the assassins soon capture the girl as hostage, which puts Pietro in a tough circumstance. The assassins take advantage of this and punch Pietro in the face. They make fun of their senior, saying that old age and cancer has gotten the better of him and that he expected better from the legendary Pietro. They say that they're going to finish him off because the boss has put up 7.6 billion on his head, which is the exact amount as Pietro's bank balance. They continue to beat him up and then land a devastating punch on him, which sends Pietro flying back miles. Pietro is seen to be down and out, but when they approach him, he uses a flashbang to make a blast and escapes the scene. The girl and everyone is surprised by this, but they are sure that he must have not gotten away too far because he was shot. We then see Pietro lying down as he thinks about his life. He says how he has worked the dangerous life from a very young age when others were studying, playing, and dating. Everything was going fine until the new boss showed up. The new boss thinks Pietro is senile and no good. Pietro says he never wanted a peaceful life, however, he doesn't want his life to amount to this. He doesn't want to end it like this. The scene then changes to the Octopus Division's head base, where we see the guys who attacked Pietro checking out a picture of him and saying that they regret not being able to finish him off and earn 7.6 billion. They vow to finish him off in the future. Just then, we see a younger man in the same outfit as Pietro enter the room. The assassins think it is Pietro before realizing it's just the outfit of this guy that looks like Pietro's. The guy checks the picture of Pietro and says that the only picture of him ever taken. The assassins ask whether the guy is also after Pietro, but soon the young man attacks the assassins and take them out. He uses an octopus as his weapon to beat up and choke out his opponent. He then says that they'll never find Pietro based on that one pic because the Pietro they knew is done for and has been reborn as his younger self. Meanwhile, we see one of the other guys who attacked Pietro on a luxurious car with the girl who attacked Pietro. The girl is surprised that wearing an eye patch. The guy says to her that they almost caught Pietro, but he escaped. He says that Pietro isn't going to last much long anyway due to his injuries and cancer, however. He wishes that he is kind enough to share it with his juniors, referring to the money Pietro has on his head. We then see Pietro saying that octopuses extend his life. We then cut to a railway station where we see everyone checking out the young and dashing Pietro. Pietro himself wonders how he is so youthful again. He undresses to see that all the bullet marks on his torso have now disappeared, and even the dangerous cancer cells that were sucking his life out him have seemed to have disappeared. He wonders how it happened, why it happened, and when it happened, but he has really turned into a younger version of himself. He also says to himself that he knows that people everywhere are actively searching for him due to the huge amount that is on his head, and that they also have a picture of him to go off of. However, that's a picture of his older self, and in his current condition, they'll never be able to track him down. However, he admits he needs to change his clothing because it's still the same as before, but he doesn't have the money. We then see Pietro overhearing two thugs who are seen smoking. They're bragging about how they've managed to receive a payment from a poor man despite the man's mother being sick. They are proud of this and consider themselves as top-tier gangsters for managing to do this and wearing expensive and branded clothes with money earned from such sources. Pietro approaches them and tells them that they shouldn't be smoking in a no-smoke zone. This pisses off the gangsters as they don't like the way Pietro talks to them as if they're younger than him. They let off Pietro with a stern warning, saying that he should get lost from there and that they're only letting him off because they're in a good mood. Pietro goes back to regroup a little before coming back and telling the gangsters that he will show them what is the punishment for being disrespectful to elders in a country like Korea, where people are respectful and courteous. This angers the two gangsters as they vow to finish off Pietro for still being informal to them. Pietro, however, crouches down to land an uppercut of sorts to the midsection of one of the gangsters to take him out. The other gangster brings out a pocket knife and asks Pietro if he knows who he is. Pietro says that he has no idea about who that guy is, but he knows that he is holding a pocket knife, and holding it in a manner which shows his inexperience and shows that he has no intention to actually stab Pietro. This provokes the gangster to actually jump in to attack him with the knife, but Pietro's experience and newfound agility is too much for him to handle, as he dodges everything and grabs him by the throat. The gangster, beaten down, asks Pietro who he is. Pietro says that he doesn't care about the illegal stuff they're doing to earn money. However, if they know his identity, then he will finish them off for good right then and there. We then see Pietro leaving the scene in an expensive suit as he checks his bank account to find that it's totally empty. He is disappointed that they've taken all his money, 7.6 billion won, despite him telling them to not touch it. Pietro then says that the orphanage he grew up in, Honor Orphanage, was an organization made for the well-being of people in need. However, it has turned into a full-on political cartel now. Being responsible for how big and powerful the organization got, Pietro vows to bring it down now to slay the monster that he himself created. We then see a tattooed bald man visit the Vacna mercenary, the best mercenary group in the West since 1914. Everyone treats him as an afterthought and doesn't rate him at all. They set up a feast where multiple men will take him out. We see the looter of the Vacna mercenary make fun of the bald man for coming to the scene to get him alone. The bald man says that he is no Pietro, so he can take the entire group by himself. Soon after, we see that the man has beaten up everyone and has put one of the guys in a complicated submission maneuver while bending his body abnormally. We learn that the bald man is the so-called Octopus, one of the top-tiered agents and the #1 jiu-jitsu athlete in the nation, his special ability being supernatural flexibility. The Vacna mercenary leader is shocked and scared seeing how a man can be that dangerous. We later see Octopus talking to the high school girl who was saved by Pietro before. He tells her that it looks like Pietro is alive and the old man has already started attacking their people. He says that he must get to him first and finish Pietro off for good, and that she should inform him if she gets a lead on where Pietro's location is. Just as they say this, they see a young Pietro sitting on a table ready for them. Not knowing who it is, they ask who he is and why he is there. Pietro tells that he is there because he has a grudge against them. So they ask him if it's money related or not, to which Pietro says that it is related to the 7.6 billion won. Octopus understands that the man must be connected to Pietro. Maybe it is his son or a disciple, but he is having doubts because Pietro was always alone. Anyway, Octopus gives Pietro two options. One, he tells them about the location of Pietro, or two, they'll finish him off with a gunshot to the head. Pietro tells them that he doesn't like either of those options and instead decides to tell them a third option, an option which upon hearing, no one has survived. The option being that he is Pietro himself. He tells them all that he is Pietro and he is the one behind the eradication of their subordinates. This shocks everyone as they take stance. Octopus is worried now because Pietro wasn't the one behind the elimination of his subordinates. Instead, it was this young guy. Just why would he go after them? He then tells Pietro that he should be cooperative and tell them who he is and how he is related to Pietro, because they have real weapons on them. Pietro tells them that if they really want to know, there is another way, the way being that they have to finish Pietro off. Octopus says he is rather good at finishing people off for good and orders his subordinate to shoot. However, Pietro's speed and reflexes are unmatched, so he manages to throw a chopstick that penetrates the man's vital point in the throat and takes him out. This shocks the girl who he had saved before. She wonders how someone her age is so skilled. Octopus praises Pietro, telling him that whatever he did was cool, whether it was luck or skill. Octopus tells him that he likes Pietro and asks him which organization he is with, as he starts taking steps forward. He says that he would have known Pietro if he was in some big organization, so why doesn't he just join his group? As he says that, he brings out a gun and fires a few rounds on Pietro. Pietro uses the table as a shield to defend himself from the bullets. Octopus makes fun of Pietro, saying that he really is a child who doesn't know that a table isn't a good enough shield against bullets. After all, this is real life and not a movie. He gives Pietro one last chance to tell him about Pietro's actual whereabouts and his connections to him as we see blood flowing down the floor. He then whips away the table to clean up, but he sees that the liquid he thought was blood was instead wine and that Pietro had escaped. He is livid and starts searching for Pietro, who had escaped like a ghost, out of sight. However, Pietro is waiting above him. Pietro spits some wine onto Octopus' eyes to blurry his vision and goes on the attack. He disassembles the gun Octopus had and delivers a wicked punch that pretty much knocks Octopus lights out. He then grabs his neck in a headlock before twisting it. Octopus is left confused as to how he got destroyed by this kid. He thinks of his time as a kid, when he was taught in training to always give it his all. It's a you miss and I hit situation, where you can't hesitate and need to shoot your shots. It is there that Octopus practiced his peculiar but effective style of jiu-jitsu, which has finished off countless foes for him. He also learned there that you must never turn your back on the enemy, and so as he sees Pietro walking away while his back turned, he uses this opportunity to first grab his ankle and disbalance him, before transitioning into an all-out submission move. He grabs onto him and chokes the life out of him. Octopus says to Pietro that he has been in this industry for longer than Pietro has been alive, and that a rookie like Pietro has no chance against a grizzled veteran like himself. But soon enough, he realizes that the one he is grabbing onto isn't who he thinks it is, because Pietro is seen standing right beside him. He then checks to see that he was holding onto his own subordinate. Octopus is shocked as he has no idea how Pietro got out of the way. Was it because of his blurry vision? or was it because of Pietro's mastery? Octopus is baffled by how decades of his experience is for naught in front of this young man. Octopus looks at Pietro and says that from his experience he can just tell that his end is near and it will be to the hands of the man above him. He says that Pietro's skill must be on the same level as the 12 great disciples or maybe even greater than them. Octopus then gets up and tries to negotiate a way out of this situation. He apologizes to Pietro and says that this all can end here peacefully. He grabs a hold onto his female subordinate and offers her as a gift to Pietro. He says that even though she might not be of that use to someone like Pietro, he can take her and use her however he wants to use her. The female subordinate says she doesn't want it, but Octopus won't listen to her. Pietro says that he accepts a deal and praises Octopus for his quick negotiation skills, which is to be expected of someone from the Glory organization. Octopus then says that whatever happened here will stay here and that they should forget about everything that went down. As he turns his back and is about to leave, Pietro says the same lines that Octopus teacher had told him in the past, that to never turn your back when the enemy is there. This shocks Octopus as he comes to realize that it was the real Pietro who had said this to him, and after connecting all the other dots, he understands that it must mean that this young man, even though how unbelievable it may sound, is indeed Pietro. Pietro then goes forward and delivers a relentless and quick flurry of attack which breaks Octopus' bones and finishes him off for good. We then see a tattooed man doing a handstand on one hand being told that Octopus has been finished off and that Pietro must have been the one behind it as there is no CCTV footage left of the scene. The man says he finds it amusing how an old man, despite being shot a day before, comes back and finishes off one of the strongest group and its leader with so much ease. He then declares that they will issue proper warrant against Pietro, which will see the end of the legend forever. We then see a huge billboard with old Pietro's picture posted by the Glory organization in an advertisement to help elderly citizen. This is a hidden message for all the criminals to look for and put an end to Pietro. Pietro himself sees the billboard image and the flyers being passed on. He gets angered by this and says that there is no need for them to look for him because he is coming for them himself. Afterwards, we see that Pietro is saying that he needs people other than himself to take out the Glory organization for good, and he knows one such man who can help him achieve this goal. However, that man makes Pietro very uncomfortable. We then see the silhouette of a man with a very intimidating look, who also happens to have a pet wolf alongside him. We then see Pietro enter a rundown-looking warehouse where we see tons of people sleeping and the place being cramped for space. Pietro is annoyed by how the place gets filled up by more and more people every time he comes. We then see Pietro pressing the button between hooker and organ trafficking to enter the room he wanted to enter. The room he enters is decorated in gold, with everything there being expensive and how it basically is made on money entirely. We then see a woman who Pietro tells that she didn't need to spend so much money to build up the aesthetic of the room when she can't even see. We learn that the woman is blind and that she has a dog. She then asks Pietro who he is and uses her sensing capabilities to understand that Pietro isn't one of the people who smell like alcohol and drugs, so he must not be one of the people of this warehouse. However, he smells too bloodthirsty to be just another thief, so she attacks Pietro while asking him if he was sent there by the Glory organization. The woman is constantly attacking Pietro and trying to take him out, but Pietro's movements are too fast and fluid. His athleticism helps him avoid all oncoming attacks. The woman then calls Pietro a little rat and throws an axe towards Pietro. Pietro gets out of the way and the axe ends up penetrating the expensive wallpaper behind. Pietro is overwhelmed by her capabilities and is left wondering whether or not the woman is really blind. The woman wastes no time though, and she tries to get the jump on Pietro while asking if he has ever seen a blind person like her before. Pietro gets back into his senses and grabs the woman mid-air and slams her down judo style. Pietro takes control over the woman. The woman tells Pietro that she is very surprised that someone with Pietro's skills and ability is still there for the Glory organization. The woman then says that now she doesn't feel any type of bloodthirst from Pietro. Maybe it is because Pietro doesn't want to finish off a woman with a disability. However, in their line of business, one must be finished off to end a fight. The woman then calls her dog to bite Pietro. However, Pietro does easy work of the dog and saves himself. Pietro then reveals to her that he is indeed Pietro. The woman is in disbelief. She keeps touching Pietro's cheeks and asks how Pietro has become younger all of a sudden, because his skin is so soft. Pietro tells her to stop as she has been doing this for half an hour now. She then starts being silly and asks just how did Pietro reach the breaking point for him to grow younger. She asks if he was shot by a bullet, poisoned, attacked, or what because she wants to try it as well. Pietro then tells her just what happened and what he intends to do. The woman asks if Pietro now wants to take out the Glory organization all on his own, to which Pietro says yes. The woman asks how he intends to do so, to which Pietro says that he will go to the Eye of the Storm. As in he will go right to Glory organization and become one of their inner workers so that he can control them on the palm of his hands. The woman is awestruck by this brilliant idea as the Glory organization are looking for the old Pietro to finish off and they have no clue about who this current man is. She gets close to Pietro and calls him a dangerous man. Pietro then tells her to avoid getting so close as she is more dangerous than him. She then says that while the idea is all good, there is no way for him to join the Glory organization as an assassin because the Glory organization only takes in people who have had a tie with them from before, someone who they had nurtured themselves, like the people from the Honor Orphanage. While the old Pietro was from that orphanage, the new Pietro is a stranger who has no ties to it. Pietro tells her that there is one way, that way being him enrolling in the Divine Honor High School. The scene then changes to a school, where we see a bunch of young and attractive women flock together and talk about this new student who just enrolled into their schools. His name being Kim Sun-gu. Pietro changed up his name and appearance to fit into the high school. We learned that the Divine Honor High School is a school made by the Glory organization, and while it may look like any other ordinary high school that kids go to, its real intention is to brew and nurture assassins for the Glory organization. Suddenly, everyone's dressing up and putting on makeup to impress this attractive young boy, who they describe to have skin brighter than their future and a unique tone. We then see a girl come towards Pietro and ask him to go to the auditorium as everyone else is going too. Pietro says he understands and proceeds to go to the auditorium. We then see girls following him around while on the way to the auditorium. We learn that the only other way to get into the Glory organization other than being a kid from the Honor Orphanage as an assassin is to graduate through the school's secret assassin program, where they conduct secret classes and teach the students to be efficient at the art of being an assassin. And Pietro intends to enter that program and do what is required to join the Glory organization. We then see a school teacher following around Pietro and asking just what kind of girl is Pietro's type, even though she lies about not being interested in Pietro. Other teachers tell her to leave the new student alone as she is a teacher and he is a kid compared to her. But that doesn't stop her or the dozens of girls surrounding the new Kim Sun-gu from all sides. Even the school's cat is attracted to Kim Sun-gu and gets on his shoulders. We then see the auditorium room, which is ready for the 14th annual dance contest's Women's Ballet Award. We see a flashback of the blind woman telling Pietro that the Assassins program is only for the people of the Honor Orphanage. Pietro, however, tells her that there is a small exception made for some people. It is an exception made very early into the year. The blind woman is shocked and asks whether Pietro is going to do what she thinks he is going to do. We then see Pietro move up the stairs and get to the podium and announce himself as the new student enrolling. He says he is Kim Sun-gu, someone who likes fighting and someone who is an assassin. This shocks everyone, including the girls who were head over heels for Pietro. However, this manages to capture the attention of a group of people with weapons in a secret room, who wonder just who the guy is. Pietro says that this is his way of making them take notice of him and scout him into the assassin program. The shockwaves that were sent due to Pietro, now Kim Sun-gu's statement, rattles everyone. Everyone is talking about how it can be someone's dream to become an assassin of all things. Pietro then rephrases his statement in a way to control the damage, now that he knows that he probably has the attention of the people he wants. He rephrases by saying that he wants to be an assassin who assassinates the studying. He wants to be a good student. This somewhat controls the damage for then because people think it is funny how he wants to be a studious assassin.